What's cracking? You know what's up? New video. Let me go ahead and turn this echo down. So, today's video is gonna be on a important topic, touchy topic, and you guys are gonna have to bear with me as I tell this story, right? Because I want to be careful in how I tell this story, but it's an important story. And even though this story occurred, this scenario occurred in prison, the topic loyalty is inside and outside of the walls. Okay, so I want to make sure that people understand that loyalty is earned. It should never ever be given freely, and that's what this story is about. So, there was an individual that landed on a yard, right? New Folsom. And I believe he was a bona fide J-Cat, right? He landed there and he got a youngster as a cellie. And, the J-Cat, he asked around and found out who was, and this is why it's hard to tell this story. Who was represented? I'm gonna just say that. Who was being represented on that yard, right? And when he found out the names of the legends that were being represented on that yard, he started telling the cellie that none of those legends were any good and that he himself was a legend. What he didn't realize was his cellie, that youngster, was under his spell and believed everything he said, to the extent that he went around bragging about it. Oh, my cellie, he's this and he's that, right? But the heavyweights on the yard were like, oh, serio? Oh, that's firme, We'll make sure that, he gets what he needs, eh? You know what I mean? Gracias for letting us know. But everybody, them heavies on the yard knew this vato was poison. He's nowhere near what he's saying. But the gente that were there were fair-minded people that were like, if we can, let's try to save this youngster, And so the plot began. The J-Cat was going to get served. He was going to get whacked, right? And it was, if we can, we save the youngster. And if we can't, that's his choice, right? And in the process of all this, some things happened, and the J-Cat and his cellie wound up getting rolled up and sent to the oil, right? And while in the oil, they were cellies. And I know for a fact that one day, because I was in the oil at the time, right? But we were aware of everything that was going on in both B and C facility, and so this was a topic that came up and was being discussed, and so one day the youngster went out to yard, and his cellie, this legend in his own mind, didn't come out to yard. Imagine that. And so, one of the camaradas was talking to his cellie and was like, and told him, like, hey, where do you know your cellie from? And the youngster was like, it doesn't matter where I know him from. It's that's my cellie, and I'm riding with him no matter what. And, the youngster was told, like I said in the beginning, loyalty is earned, eh? Like, it's not to be given away freely. How does this vato have your loyalty? How is your life worth that vato when you don't know him? And the youngster said, hey, Holmes, I'm going to ride with him no matter what. He's somebody. And he was told, no, he's nobody, but you got to do what you got to do. So after the investigation on these two individuals, they were both kicked out to B facility in New Folsom, right? And before they even got there, B facility knew who they were and what the situation was. And you know, in prison, that is a very, very, very a serious situation. You know, there is no time for leeway. There is no time for compassion when it comes to that. You do not ever claim to be something you're not. You know, unlike what happens in the YouTube comment section, right? But so they got out there, and again, Vatos tried to separate the youngster from the JCat, right? Like, look, Holmes, you know, you're all right. You just need to learn. Your heart is in the right place, but your loyalty is with the wrong person. And again, he was foolish enough to believe, like, no, I'm with the right person. You Vatos are just wrong in what you're thinking. So when the day came that the JCat was going to be moved on, the shooters moved. They jumped on him and did his thing, and the youngster had the heart, man. You know, he tried to take some steps in that direction, but he didn't know the game yet. You know, he didn't know the seriousness of prison. He didn't know the seriousness of the situation that he chose to put himself in. So while he made a few steps in the direction to help his Sally, there were already shooters that were assigned to him. And he had holes punched in his body that should have never been. You know, he could have sat back and realized, like, you know what? They're touching that man for a reason. Let that happen, and I'll get to the bottom of it. And if I feel it's not right, then I'll do my thing. But he didn't know better, you know. And so, like his Sally, he went to the hospital, and he was never heard of again. You know, he did whatever he did. He rode off in the sunset. But I just want to make sure that I'm clear on this. You know, no matter who it is in your life, loyalty is not given freely. It's earned. Loyalty is something that is very, very important in our lives. So something that important, how do you be frivolous with it? You shouldn't. No one should be, right? Now, the free world is not as brutal as prison, but the repercussions can be. Whether, you know, yeah, you're not going to get whacked over something like that out here. But what happens mentally and emotionally when you give your loyalty away freely? That should never happen. But anyways, I'm going to keep this one short. I'm at my 8-minute mark. I know you guys got things to do, so let me know in the comments what you think about this story. And be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out.